Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. And I hope you have had a good time. My prayer has been always consistent that you have continued to experience uh, the grace of God in its abundance, and you have continued to wallow on His mercies. It has been a minute. It was a soccer season, and for them that are soccer lovers, I hope you enjoyed every play of the game until the finals of the 2026 World Cup. Today, I invite them that have not subscribed to Moral Compass 101 to do so, and continue liking and sharing my videos so that we can continue to spread this knowledge across different sets of people. And you can also comment so that through your comments we can interact. Some people do ask questions on my social platforms, and for a while I've not had a time to come and answer those questions, and I'm thinking of making a whole topic on different questions so that I can come and answer them here on Moral Compass 101. But be it as it may, today we carry on with our theme of the year, which is a human being who is becoming, and the topic of the day is virtual ethics. Please allow me to commence today's topic with a narrative of a recent occurrence. This is an occurrence that unfolded right in front of my eyes. A few days ago, when getting out of a store, I saw this young lady who had 3 children with her, and upon entering her car, he pulled out a McDonald's bag full of trash, threw it on the parking lot, and hurriedly left or drove off. In my moments of astonishment, I just like the disciples who, upon their encounter with Sidonius, a man who was born blind, my soliloquy question was, is it her mystic or her upbringing that she is totally out of touch with virtual ethics? And I do believe on your daily life you encounter such astonishing experiences or moments. Noting that virtual ethics is a generational lesson, my question was, what lesson did she teach the 3 children through her reprehensible action of throwing trash in the parking lot? What lesson did she teach these 3 children in her company through her reprehensible act of throwing or spewing trash in the parking lot? Kindly allow me to repeat what I said in our last topic, that children learn more out of our actions than they do out of our words. Their ears, thus, are highly decisive than their eyes, therefore, are highly decisive than their ears. This narrative of my recent moments of total astonishment brings us to the definition of virtual ethics. What is virtual ethics? Virtual ethics is a character-based approach to morality, where a person prioritizes his or her latent behaviors, habits, traits, and dispositions over specified rules or the consequences of his or her actions thereafter. That virtue ethics is a character-based approach to morality, where your hidden or your latent habits, your behaviors, your traits and dispositions conquer the specified rules and the consequences of breaking these rules. See, this is the aspect of being a self-regulated individual, a self-supervised person, regardless of the set rules and regulations. And we have a vast majority of people who cannot do what is right until they are supervised. And if you are that individual, it's a high time that you realize that you are totally out of touch with virtual ethics. If you're that person that needs rules and regulations and laws to guide your actions, then you're totally out of touch with virtual ethics. In simple words, it's being morally upright regardless of the set rules and the consequences thereof. Having a moral sense of responsibility regardless of the set rules. Instead of asking yourself, what are the rules, the laws and the regulations to follow? What are the consequences? Or what outcome will cause the most good? A virtual ethicist asks himself or herself, what kind of a person should I be? What kind of a person should I be? That should be your daily question. Remember, you are a human being who is becoming, and becoming is a present continuous tense. Being might be static, but becoming is something, it's a choice of moral character that you have to choose on daily basis. This intriguing question, what kind of a person should I be, makes virtual ethics a framework of morality that's contingent on the cultivation of conscience with a focus of developing your overall moral character so that doing the right thing becomes natural to you. There are people, so many people who struggle to do the right thing because they have not developed a habit of doing good or what is right on daily basis. As a timeless generational fundamental foundation of morality, virtual ethics demands two concepts for posterity continuity. And which are these two concepts? Number one is the apparentship of morality. The apparentship of morality. Morality cannot simply be learned through a rule book, since it's not a single personality trait, but rather a complex system of social norms and judgments that shapes a person's overall moral character. There are no set rules and regulations, but choosing to do the right thing at the right time and for the right reason, it's something that you have to choose on daily basis. It should not be a matter of set rules. That's why it's acquired, or moral character is acquired through habitation, where repeatedly practicing traits like honesty, courage, caring, generosity, and the like makes them become second to nature. Just like I said a few minutes ago, practice these things on daily basis. You don't have to be pushed. Make it a decision. Make it a habit to practice these things. This is what makes morality an existential necessity and a quotidian trait of becoming. It should exist in every day's life. It should be a quotidian trait of becoming. Your daily moral decisions makes you an active participant in your becoming. Being good or having a great moral character is a daily choice, lest your moral attitude becomes questionable. You cannot say that because I did good yesterday, I will not do good today. It's a daily choice. It should be consistent. And that's how a good moral character is developed. The second concept of virtue ethics is mentorship. A while back, I taught on a topic of mentorship versus role model, and I did a demarcation between the two terms because so many people get confused when it comes to mentorship versus role model. Mentorship is or through mentorship or during mentorship, there must be a cordial relationship, physical relationship between the mentor and the mentee, versus the case of a role model, whereby it's a personal choice to be influenced by a certain character or by a certain individual. There can be or there cannot be. It's either all a physical interaction with whoever you choose as your role model. So mentorship is our second aspect of virtue ethics, noting that the younger generation or the younger individuals lack life experiences that are needed to balance different competing moral choices because of their tender age. They can only rely on the practical lived wisdom. This is what we call practical lived wisdom, is what we call phronesis of the adults in their life. That, as a parent, as a guardian, as an adult, the young generation is looking upon you, noting that you have had more life experiences, so that they can emulate, they can follow, on your footsteps. Hence, as adults, we must become mentors to the young and guidance to the young generation on matters moral ethics for the sake of morality and the acquisition of their ability, capability, and capacity to do the right thing at the right time and for the right reasons. We need to be good examples to be followed, and through even silent mentorship, because just like I said, young individuals, they rely so much on what they see us do vis-a-vis what we tell them to do. So we should be at the front line, to demonstrate good moral characters, great moral characters, not even good, to the young generation. My question thereof is, as an adult, do you have moral aptitude for the sake of mentoring the young generation? Do you have a great moral aptitude for the sake of mentoring the young generation? Ask yourself that question. In closing, whether it's out of lack of know-how or total negligence, to a dire responsibility of passing on virtue ethics, which is a generational ethical framework that instigates and sustains morality. Moral heritage is rapidly fading away from generation to generation. No wonder the present day immense immorality. That point is inarguable that through time, moral, virtual ethics is learning away from generation to generation. That moral heritage of virtual ethics is something that needs to be brought back and to be maintained and sustained through mentorship. Nonetheless, you and I have a moral responsibility to deliberately, it's intentional, keep the moral torch ablaze for the sake of moral, correct posterity. That we have that burden. We should embrace that burden deliberately to keep the moral torch ablaze for the sake of morality and the morally correct posterity. So have that burden in you, that you have the responsibility of mentorship through your actions, through your words, and everything within your power. Until next time, please stay safe and carry the burden of moral mentorship to the young generation. Blessings and shalom.